insecurity. Here's to the parasites, always biting on me. Here's to oppression. Here's to the danger. Here's to the child that got abducted by a stranger. Here's to the regulation. Here's to all the taxes. Here's to false elation, not knowing what the facts is. Here's to the cancer that killed my baby's mama. Here's to the dope and the motherfucking drama. Here's to the walls around your beating, bleeding heart. Here's to your ego because you're so fucking smart. Here's to all the people with their elastic lifestyles. Here's the fake empathy and pretentious plastic smiles. Here's to Obama, Biden, and Bush. Y'all need to lighten up, smoke some kush. Here's to the Taliban and Sharia law. I don't need no cultism, y'all can fuck off. Here's to feminism and masochism, those other isms. Here's to all the stereotypes that keep us afloat in schism. Here's to the corporations that guinea pig us out. Here's to all the billionaires that don't know what real life's about. Here's to your ears and here's to hoping you hear these words I spit. Here's to freedom of speech and freedom from these idiots. Here's to evolution, the institution that programs minds. Fuck all this confusion, disillusion. Here's to obvious signs. Here's to hoping you understand I'm being facetious with my rhymes, cause all these things I've mentioned are all just signs of the times. Here's to raising our glasses, we do what's customary. Here's to them kissing all our asses. If you don't agree, then here's to me. Here's to national security that saves us by design. Here's to the global drug trade. Here's to snorting another line. Here's to the millions dead every day from cigarettes and alcohol. Here's to the billions that they pay to promote that chronic cough. Here's to thinking you're better cause you're living in America. Here's to the Gates Foundation trying to sterilize South Africa. Here's to the New World Order and their 21st century plan. Here's to the Patriot Act, hey, what happened to that gold bullion? Here's to all these ego trips that want to go to space. Here's to the backroom puppets that cause suffering to our race. Here's to the chains around your neck, another slave that thinks they're free. Here's the saying, God bless this place, God don't bless hypocrisy. Here's to the fast food gluttons to support a poisonous industry. Here's to mom and dad for not teaching kids morality. Here's to your donations, buy vacations for CEOs. Here's to vaccinations for the viruses that they grow. Here's to the situation and the tyranny of big government. Here's to changing history, now I know what our forefathers meant. Here's to the bullshit where the mushrooms grow to get you tripping. Here's to one-ply toilet paper, stop my finger from slipping. Here's to Chicken Little trying to tell us that the sky is falling. I don't need a telephone to know that Armageddon's calling. Here's to the public radio that protects the people from the truth. Let's have a round for censorship. You cancel me, I cancel you. Here's to raising our glasses, we do what's customary. Here's to them kissing all our asses. If we can't agree, well then here's to me.